This is Coach Boardwine, and welcome to the Coach's Corner. We appreciate you watching this video. If you've been following the corner, you know that we had two big matches this past week in the Southern Conference. One was against Gardner-Webb on Monday night, the 28th, and one was against SIUE on Saturday night, February the 2nd. Campbell fans, we have good news. We won both those matches. You probably already know that from looking at the website. We beat Gardner-Webb here 24-12, and we'll just talk about that match a little bit first. I thought it was a match where we wrestled pretty well, not perfect. It wasn't exactly what we were looking for, but it was very good to win. It was a good team win, and we had some guys step up pretty big and get pins. At 149, Brent George pinned Ryan Medved. That was a big win. Paul Duggan came through with a pin at 165, and we saw some other good things from a lot of guys that I've talked about in some other interviews. Michael Dahlstrom wrestled great. Montoya was solid. So we did some really good things, and we think that we can do better against a team like that in the future. So we talked about how to improve upon that as a team. The good news was it kept us winning and kept us, I think, at that point, 3-1 in the conference. So we had a good week of training after that, getting ready for SIUE, and we went to Western North Carolina to wrestle SIUE at a high school called High Breton High School in Lenoir, North Carolina. And we were able to get connected with them because one of our athletes, Scotty Hardiman, is from that high school, and they were very kind and let us come in. And we wrestled SIUE, and we did a lot of the things there that I felt like we failed to do against Gardner-Webb. So that was really good to see. We won 8 out of 10 matches. We did have a true freshman in the lineup. It was a surprise. Trent Little started for us and lost at 133, but fought hard, didn't give up a pin. He filled in for Tanner Beidelsbach, who was sick. And we also won 8 other matches. Other than that, Cody Rywood took a tough loss, was in on the winning takedown and just didn't get the job done, didn't finish. But beyond that, really everybody not only won but wrestled really well. I was really happy to see Nick Rex wrestle well. It's kind of vintage Rex, just watching him do the things that we were talking about during the week. So he looked great. Also looking great, Taylor McGiffin was back from an injury, looked good. Joe Nolan had a great match. I think his best match of the year, really looked tough and just up and down the lineup. What we did that I was happy about was we went out and did the little things team-wise and controlled the match and made sure that we got bonus points when we had the opportunity to do that. So it was a great week of wrestling for the Fighting Camels. I was told earlier that that's the best start in program history from a conference standpoint, being 4-1 in the conference, so we're happy about that. And we hope to continue to set records. Every year we just want to get better. We just want to keep improving and getting better and trying to put a guy on the mat at every weight that's just a little better than last year, just a little better than last year. So in 5 or 6 years, people will look and just see consistent progress. And we think when people see that and recruits see that, then it makes Campbell a really attractive place to be. So that's really our goal. And so far it's working out. We're excited to have a chance still to wrestle Chattanooga for the conference championship. I need to read the rules a little bit in the Southern Conference bylaws, but my understanding of it is if we beat Davidson in 2 weeks, we'll be basically in a position where we'll have 1 loss, we'll be 5-1. And if we can defeat Chattanooga, they'll also have 1 loss, and we could be in a tie for a conference championship. So that's a ways down the road, and some things have to happen for that to be a possibility. But it is something for you to think about as fans. And that'll be at Chattanooga on the 25th of February. Long before that, this weekend, we've got a huge challenge. We're going to wrestle Virginia Tech right here in the main arena on Saturday, the 9th of February at 2 o'clock. Virginia Tech is really tough, and they're a very, not only a hot team, but they're a building program that I would say is in the top 5 to 10 of the country consistently now every year. And they're on our schedule because they're in the top 5 or 10 of the country. They weren't always that way. Coach Dresser's done a great job with them, and Coach Roby, building them up into a national contender. And we want to learn from that, and we want to compete with those guys, and we want to continue to wrestle them year in and year out. Whether or not we can beat them as a team or not, we'll find out on Saturday. I do think individually we have some guys that can be real competitive, so it's going to be a great test for them, and that's what we want to do. We want to test these guys and see what they have and see where we need to work to put guys on the podium at the NCAAs. So if you get a chance, come out to see us. It'll start at 2 o'clock promptly on the 9th, and we're looking forward to it. In the meantime, like I've said before, if you have any questions, you can email me, anything you'd like to see me cover. It's boardwinej@campbell.edu. I did want to field one I guess you could call it a question. Somebody was just asking me, they said, hey, we saw you have a freshman, Corey Wagner, who did well at the Newberry Open. Who is he? And we saw he pinned Robert Henderson from UNC. He was pretty tough. So my answer to that is Corey's a freshman. He's working hard. I don't think he qualified for state last year in North Carolina, which I find hard to believe, but he is pretty tough, and he's really making some waves for us. Had a couple big pins at that tournament and did really well wrestling unattached. So he's redshirting right now, but he's one of those guys that you may hear from in the future, and we're redshirting a couple guys like that. So there's a lot of good things going on with Campbell Wrestling, even beyond what you see in the regular lineup on a week-to-week basis. So thanks for that question, and if you have anything else you'd like to hear me touch on, shoot me an email and I'll be happy to cover it. Go Camels.